Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome back to the One Nation of Gamers Summer Circuit. This is day number 2 of Future Tournament number 1. We're getting pretty deep into Group B. We're about to jump into the losers match. Once again, I'm TJ Osmond, QD Sanders, joined by David, Doug, Cairo, and we just saw probably the craziest best of 5 of Hearthstone that I have ever seen with the Echo Mage from Mirari. What were your thoughts on that one, Doug?
It was pretty crazy. I think Mirari could have probably won. The Warrior it was a patron against Echo Mage.
Yeah.
By pinging himself, but he started playing better the second match. Hawthorne just played it really well, played it slow, knew exactly what to do, so very good on his ends.
One of the best attributes that Hawthorne has is that he's patient. He is not afraid to just grind you out in matches, and he knows exactly when he needs to go for fatigue. And it felt like Mirari just sort of conceded at the end there. He just sort of said, you know what, screw it, I don't want to think anymore. So we'll be seeing Mirari again later. He will face the winner of this match, which is the losers match. It's Amaz versus Shoop. The loser of this match is eliminated from the tournament. The winner moves on to face Mirari and have another elimination match. So these guys have an uphill battle ahead of them.
Yeah. So it's Zoo against Malilock. I actually think that Malilock is slightly favored. Just because it runs sweepers like Hellfire, it still runs the swing cards like Implosion and things like that. So it just ultimately comes down to if Zoo can get a commanding lead early, because if they can, like Malilock doesn't run Moltens, right? So it doesn't have a way to like really just like swing the game like that. It has stuff to kind of get back on board like Hellfire, Implosion, Blackwing Corruptor, things like that. So we'll see how this goes. Amaz has a pretty decent start.
Yeah. The Implosion and Sea Giant combination is going to be pretty big. This deck, the Malilock, runs 2 BGHs. If he doesn't manage to draw into one, then the Sea Giant is...
So you can coin into Sea Giant here if you would like. It's kind of risky considering that Malilock does run double BGH, but Amaz has some balls on him.
Yep. Well, if this BGH isn't dealt with, it could pretty much just be game.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have a BGH in hand, so it could definitely end up poorly. I think you just Blackwing Corruptor it. I don't really see another way. You could Blackwing Corruptor the 1/2 as well, but
set up to trade and
maybe
Implosion next turn or
Hellfire or something. I like killing off the Voidwalker and going face. It's the only play that you could have really made.
He could just Implosion and then Abuse Sergeant to clean up if necessary. This is...
I think that's the play.
Or maybe he wants to get the Void Color out there.
For the Doomguard? It's possible. The thing is, I don't think you need the Void Collar out because you can just play the Doomguard anyways for the burst. So you're definitely hitting face with that 8/8, first of all. Like there's no other place that's going. So he chooses to taunt Abusive Trade. Alright, I can respect this.
Still keeps an unreasonable amount of power on board.
Amaz just has such a commanding lead right now. What do you do if you're Shoop here? You just...
You could play heal bot, press escape, then concede.
Yeah, I think Alt and F4? Alt F4. That's probably how you win this.
Yeah, if he plays heal bot, he brings himself back up to 19, and he's staring at 15 damage on the board. He would die to Power Overwhelming or Doomguard.
Honestly, that was like a pretty ballsy play from Amaz just to throw out the Sea Giant like that. He could have lost the game like on the spot had Shoop had a BGH or something like that. But it was ultimately like rewarded really well. As you could see, like Amaz just crushed Shoop this game. I think the only way you do win this is maybe like tapping into a BGH.
Yeah.
Looks like that's what he's going to go for. And, yeah. So, Amaz, quick win.
That whole game lasted about as long as a single turn from the last series. But, yeah, Amaz takes a quick 1-0 victory. Or, yeah, quick 1-0 lead.
Yeah.
And he's got Druid and Hunter remaining. And it feels like...
I think he's going to go with... Hunter, right?
Hunter, yeah. Give himself 3 opportunities to win with Druid if he can take a quick one with Hunter.
I would say so. What kind of Paladin was Shoop running?
Just mid-range.
Okay.
Straight up mid range. He ran double mustard, or well, double quartermaster, pile of shredders, knife jugglers. Yeah.
Okay, so we have Druid v Druid. One of them, who's that? That's a Maz's hand. He has Emperor. They both have Emperor, but Amaz has the Innervate, and he's going first. I actually really prefer going first in this matchup, just because it's like you get a Wild Growth the entire time, but you're behind a card. But if you think about it, Wild Growth is a card to give you an extra mana, so it's kind of like you get the Wild Growth for free.
Yeah.
That's basically it. So going first in this matchup is pretty important, but it also, more than that, comes down to draws. As we can see, Shoop is probably going to be the one to get out his Emperor first, which is very, very important.
And a double Force of Nature is very clunky.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very clunky.
Alright, so next few turns, probably just straightforward. Coin, Innervate, Emperor. Amaz is going to follow it up with his Emperor. Shoop is going to have to trade, I guess. It's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. And both players are going to end up getting one turn of value out of their
Exactly.
Emperor, it feels like.
Oh, and Shoop is running Wars in this deck. I forgot about that. I think that helps in the mirror, especially when you don't have to fear Black Knight. Black Knight's been out of the meta for a while, but like back in the day, whenever I used to run Wars, or people, Wars were kind of popular, Black Knight was everywhere, and that was the card that like just swung the game. I would keep it in my opening hand because Black Knight was so good, but now you don't really see Black Knight, so Wars have gotten a little better.
Dog, also known as the Shaper of Metas.
Yeah, right. All right. So, do you silence the Emperor? It's not very mana efficient.
What else are you going to do? There's not much.
I feel like you value getting the Emperor like charges more than Shoop does, just because you do have double Force of Nature. So if you draw into a Savage Roar or something, suddenly you can do crazy amounts of burst. But I mean, you're obviously not killing off your Emperor because you're going to get value this time.
Yeah.
I would say silencing his Emperor is probably the best play.
Yeah, the double Force of Nature Savage Roar is a 26 damage combo.
Oh, man.
Yep.
It's the Wombo combo right there.
Yep. So, getting those Force Natures to cost 4, it still doesn't, because you can't Force Nature with both of those. But it means you can Force Nature double Savage Roar.
Yeah, that would be...
Without Innervate, which is 22.
Like yeah. 22. So silence, I like it. Attack in. Okay. The thing is, Shoop gets like another Emperor discount, which is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
The spectator's mode is kind of buggy with Druid, guys, so just bear with us. Be on the ball with getting it back.
What did he play that turn?
He swiped, and he cleared, and he played a Shade, and suddenly he is very, very ahead on board.
But, I mean, it could change pretty quickly.
This game is so crazy. Is that lethal? It's not lethal, is it? It's 5 plus 1 plus 3, which is 9. 9 plus...
17, 18. 18 with hero power.
Okay, so he's one off?
Was he at 19 health?
I think so. I believe so. I think you might just put him at 2.
Yeah, Shoop's at 25 HP. Amaz is at 19.
Yeah. We'll paint a picture with our words.
Yeah. On the battlefield is a 5/5 Ancient of Lore.
Oh, man.
It is very orange. Very orange card.
Time waits for no
50
one.
Shades.
What card did he use?
He used Ancient of War.
Okay.
I would have liked to see him use just Savage Roar there and just go face and put him at 2.
Yeah.
It's pretty mana efficient.
Yeah. So he used an Ancient of War and he's facing a Shade. And I'm sure he traded. Ancient of Lore with Ancient of Lore. So I'm guessing there's Shade and Nothing versus Ancient of Lore, Shade, Ooze.
Ooze. Oh yeah, from the Belcher. Okay.
Yeah. And so that means Amaz.
Well, the thing is, if Shoop didn't use his Savage Roar last turn to put him at 2, Amaz can actually play Lotheb this turn and maybe prevent lethal with like a Lotheb swipe or something, which is pretty important. And that's why I feel like using the Savage Roar just to get value from it immediately is pretty important. But it looks like he's going to use Force to clear.
Yeah, Force and Swipe to clear up the lore. It'll leave the Slime at 1 health. And a Shade, which is a 5/5.
Like we're just trying to like piece together all of this.
Which
I think we should go off their reactions, but they're just so stone cold into the game. It's like really hard to tell. All right, there we go. It looks like I had some difficulty with that, but I'm sure. I think Shoop was in a commanding lead, so I think
Shoop would have had lethal on board.
Yeah.
No,
he's
he
going to be the winner.
Not quite. All you had to do was draw into his Force of Nature, though.
Yeah. And the thing is, this wasn't like a problem with the actual game itself, so the game isn't interrupted. It's more of the spectator fight. Yeah, so there will be no issues with Amaz. Oh, he had lethal on board, so he won, or stuff like that.
Yeah, Druids are having a lot of problems with spectator mode right now. So when you have Druid versus something else, it's bearable. But when you have Druid versus Druid, it's like both sides are just being ridiculous. Oh, we're back.
Okay, there we go. Oh wow, how's Amaz at 13 HP? What is going on in this game?
Interesting.
So you Wrath and you play your Harrison. I like it. Okay. And I think you can go ahead and safely attack in with your Shade.
And
second Force of Nature. Oh wait, Wrath. Force.
You can Druid of the Claw and Wrath.
I kind of like Druid of the Claw Wrath. I think that's the best play. Just charge it.
Yeah.
Trade. Next turn you can Lotheb Shredder and possibly draw into a Roar, and then you win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be lethal for him.
Wishful thinking.
Yeah, something like that. Something along those lines seems pretty feasible.
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, I think Wrath and Druid of the Claw is the best. Wrath Lotheb, you still died at just Savage Roar.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Oh, Wrath for 1. Okay.
Force of Nature basically means that he's not going to really have
first combo
opportunity to win the game.
But like Shoop, he doesn't really have any cards. Like if he draws Dead with like an Innervate or another BGH, I don't really know what he runs, and it's very likely that Amaz can just win. But he didn't. That is the best card he could have gotten aside from Force of Nature.
Yeah. Definitely not Dead.
Innervate and Shredder. Okay.
Well, there's the Savage Roar.
How do you navigate through this turn?
You have to play Lotheb. So Lotheb Shredder.
You're dead though, right? You lose.
Yeah, just to Savage Roar.
Savage Roar Hero Power?
Yeah. Because Savage Roar will cost 6, and you'll still be able to fit into Hero Power. Alright. Well, we made it through the Druid versus Druid. And Shoop's going to tie it up 1-1.
Yeah.
And Shoop's 2 other decks were Paladin and...
Warlock, I believe?
Warlock, yeah. Warlock. Yep.
Yeah. That was a Demon Lock, or a Mally Lock,
Mally
right?
Lock, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So neither of these players have Warrior. That's kind of interesting.
That's kind of crazy.
Across all the qualifiers and yesterday, we didn't see many players that did not bring Warrior. It's either Control or Patron.
I think Amaz probably should have picked Hunter there. Like, the Hunter is good against all of his decks, and you might as well get the free win and just have Druid against everything else. Like, if you were trying to like snipe his Paladin, like you're like, oh, I'm not going to play Hunter because Paladin might beat me. Paladin's probably going to beat your Druid anyways.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's, I don't know, probably more advantageous to pick Hunter, but you can't really call out the matchups like that. It's a little more complicated.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if he's going to stick with Druid this time. Amaz, I can't remember if he's one of those players that likes to randomly roll for his classes or pick, but if I remember correctly, I think he likes to stick.
I think so as well. Druid isn't too bad against the Mallelock. I think that's the matchup he's trying to get. But then again, Hunter isn't too bad either. So we'll see. Either way, it's probably going to be a fine matchup. It looks like he goes with the Hunter.
And he chose correctly.
It is Face Hunter, right? We
Yeah,
established that last time.
100%, yeah. There's no mid-range or hybrid elements. It's just straight up smork.
Oh man, he knows how it's done.
Target the face.
Smork it up.
Yeah. And all golden.
Forsen would be proud.
I wish I had all golden cards. The closest I have is my Patron Warrior deck is like 26 golden cards. Because half of them you...
The guy in the lobby was staring at Shoop. What are you doing? It's funny.
Oh, no, nothing. Just winning $3,000.
Beating a Maz, you know, it's no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Beating a Maz?
Yeah, Shoop is actually playing from a hotel lobby. He's on vacation right now, so if you think it's a little bit of a weird background with a lot of people walking past Shoop, it's because he's playing from a hotel lobby. Got to make that money while he's spending money on vacation, trying to reimburse it.
Trying to pay off his vacation from winning. Let's see. So what was the matchup? It was
Paladin versus Hunter.
I think I saw a muster from the Paladin. I think
Yeah.
I drew that, so that's really important. It can help clear up 1/1s.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, here we go. I guess it didn't help that much.
Whoa!
Oh, the Consecrate. The Consecrate's going to do it. And he has a Belcher to follow it up.
He's at
so that's-
13 health on turn 3. We missed 30 seconds of that matchup, and he's at 13 health.
That's what the Smork Hunter does, man.
He's like dead.
Yeah, but he has a Belcher to follow it up. Like,
Yeah.
if a Moz draws Owl, suddenly the Hunter is... I mean, the Paladin's in, like, a really bad position. But as we see it right now, it looks like Amaz's... Or the Paladin can swing back.
He needs some heal.
Oh my god.
Oh.
That draw. So, the card that can help Amaz the most is Owl.
Yeah.
Quick Shot wouldn't be too bad either, but Owl is probably the best. That is a very bad draw.
I think you just have to attack him.
Yeah, you just face tank it. Why can't attack face? Blizz, please fix. Can't attack face.
Oh, he just passed.
It's interesting.
He's basically saying this second Eagle Horn bow is never going to be used.
Yeah, I think that's the plan right now. So, I guess you heal bot because you're scared.
Yeah.
I would assume that Amaz had either a second weapon in hand or a Unleash if I was Shoop. Because both those cards you wouldn't really use. Arcane Golem also. Something along those lines. But I don't think there's any other way to play this other than just heal botting.
Because even just... well, Beast Kill Command wouldn't do it because he wouldn't have enough mana.
Yeah.
He might be thinking he can play Sylvanas and get away with it for a turn, but that's really risky.
That's true, but I don't know. Like, it could also be a quick shot in hand because he does. You want to weave in hero power every time.
Yeah.
So it's possible, and it could be like quick shot into kill command, quick shot into quick shot. There's just a bunch of things. Also, you could like get owled and just like completely destroyed. So I think heal bot. There's like no question about it. This is the best play here.
Double Shoop! Aw. There's only double shoot for a second.
Explosive trap. That's a pretty good draw, and you can attack in this turn.
Yeah. Yeah, he's taking a lot of damage.
He is, but the Paladin doesn't have much burst, and I don't think Shoop really wants to be attacking in. It's kind of scary. Feeding bow charges. It's definitely terrifying. But I mean, you have boom, you have a bunch of damage. I would actually probably just boom and attack in and be like, well, if you have lethal, you have lethal. Kill off the boom bots also because
Play around Unleash.
Yeah, exactly.
You'd still be left with a 3-1. You'd have a slime for a taunt. You'd be at
Yeah.
10 health and with a 7 on the board.
Exactly. That's
you-
assuming it is explosive. I'm not sure if Shoop knows the secrets, but
He can probably guess. And even if it's not, then he could just attack in with the shield and mini bot, or sorry, the anti-kill bot, and he would get it back to his hand if it was freezing, so he could play it next turn.
there we go. Perfect. Not too bad. Not too shabby.
And he's gonna put him below 10 health.
Oh man.
Wow,
The pain train. Pain train. I don't think
that's
there's I don't think there's anything Amaz can do. Oh my god. That troll owl. Right. So I think that Shoop won this game.
Yeah, he did.
I think it just froze on one end.
I saw the
I saw an explosion.
I
So
was trying to click to continue and it wouldn't let me. There we go.
Stop time. All right, so Shoop won that one, I assume. So
Yeah.
Paladin gone. It looks like he only has Mally Lock left. Mally Lock against Hunter and Druid. Druid is kind of difficult. You can win as Mally Lock if you get like a good Emperor turn. Just drop Malygos or something. Good implosion, stuff like that. It's kind of hard. I would say it's Druid favored.
Yeah.
And the Hunter matchup against Mally Lock, that's difficult as well. It ultimately comes down to if you get an abusive early to just throw on board. If you get a Dark Bomb to deal with Knife Juggler, things like that. I would say it's a little favored towards the Hunter as well. So Amaz's matchups are pretty good, but.
Yeah, you do have double heal bot, so you're more likely to draw on to heal if you can get through the early game with those things that you mentioned.
Yeah, but I mean the issue with Mally Lock is it only runs 2 taunts. It runs 1 Argus and 1 Belcher, so it's kind of hard to mitigate a lot of damage. But he does have 2 chances and 2 not too terrible matchups. So I think Shoop is in a very good position right now.
Yeah. Once again, though, these guys are still in a little bit of a rough spot. They both lost their first matches, so in order to move on to the playoff stage, they have to win 2 matches in a row. They have to win this match, and then they have to move on and face Mirari in the second elimination match and beat him as well. So it's going to be a long road for both these players, even if they do manage to win this match in order to qualify for the playoff stage. It's tough when you lose that first one.
Yeah, for sure. True. I don't know. I really like Mally Lock. Whenever I was playing it in DreamHack, I only dropped like 1 game with it, I think. At most 2.
It's super strong.
Out of 10 games, that's a lot. That's like not a lot to drop.
Yeah, and players have been experimenting. The Cloud9 guys, Tides and Strifecrow, have been experimenting with just the same exact deck, but with Chromagus instead.
With Chromagus, really?
Chromagus and Jiraxis.
Wow.
So it's basically identical list, but instead of Malygos and Soulfires, it's Chromagus, Jiraxis, and Bane of Doom.
That's very interesting. I'd like to see that in action.
Strifecrow is doing really well with it. I mean, it works sort of similar. It's just your win condition is more of a grind them out.
Yeah, it's like a board positioning as opposed to. Yeah, I would assume you'd have to run another taunt because Jiraxis.
I think double Sludge Belcher.
Yeah, that makes more sense to me. That's interesting. That sounds cool. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah. It definitely looked super strong because all those board control elements are still there. Like the Blackring Corruptors, you have just as many dragons.
Yeah.
Still like just as many board clears.
You can like
DGH.
Yeah, you can like Emperor and play Chromagus and Coil and tap in the same turn. Just get a ton of value.
Yep.
It sounds interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we got the tiny screen.
It's like we're playing on mobile.
So he coined out the owl there? Interesting. Should see a Dark Bomb. Ooze. I like that tech a lot. That tech is my favorite.
Yeah.
I think Amaz is the hunter, and Shoop is actually the...
Yep.
There we go. All right.
Yep.
All fixed. Sweet. Oh, man. Leper Gnome is doing work. So I guess now, like, Imp-Gang Boss, I really like that he's running Imp-Gang Boss over the 3/5s or whatever. Imp-Gang Boss just gives you so much value against, like, hunters, against any aggro deck. It's just amazing, amazing, amazing. I'd recommend playing this over the Blackwing Technician, like, anytime.
Yeah. So Maz's hand is not that great. He's got both owls, which aren't going to help him too much yet. He doesn't really have much to get through. He silences the Imp Gang boss, but that sort of works against him in the same way because now he doesn't get as strong of an unleash.
Yeah. I don't mind tapping here. Dark bombing. There's only 1 damage on board. It's kind of unfortunate, but Shoop is lucky enough to where Amaz doesn't have any actual damage in hand. It's just going to come down to like the top decks, I feel like, for Amaz.
Yeah.
Because he dumped his hand so quickly. And that's the thing with Face Hunter. So it looks like he's just going to try to put as much pressure on as possible.
Well, regardless, this matchup's going to be pretty quick. He can anti-Killbot, and then he has Defender of Argus next turn.
Yeah.
Or even just Blackwing Corruptor. No, he doesn't have a dragon. Never mind.
Ooh, explosive. That's a not too bad of a draw. The thing is, like, your opponent knows exactly what traps you run, so it's kind of like it's something where they can play around, right? It's kind of unfortunate to have cards like that in your deck, but I mean, you have to run traps as Hunter, and in the end, it's 2 damage. It's a hero power, right?
Yeah.
Do you attack with the 2/1? I don't think you do.
Yeah.
It makes it awkward for the other person. Oh, I guess he does.
But
okay.
Smork overrides all.
Smork knows best.
Siphon Soul could be a good way for him to gain a little bit of health.
Yeah.
But it feels like...
Do you Argus this turn? I almost feel like Siphon just like is good this turn. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, if you defend over Argus, you don't really want to tap.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe just Siphon and start trading into the egg or the creeper.
Yeah.
Next turn you can go Imp Gang into Argus maybe, and then go face. I'm not sure. Tap. Wow, that is ballsy. Okay. I guess he feels like I don't know. I guess he feels like he can draw into another taunt or another heal pod. But Amaz's hand is pretty darn good. Owl, Unleash. Shoot.
Does he want a Eagle Horn Bow to get out of the secret yet? And to set up the damage for next turn?
I feel like Eagle Horn Bow is a little better, yeah. Oh, actually, no. Unleash pushes the same amount of damage, and when else are you going to like have a board again, right? I feel like Unleash might have been a little better, but you do get the extra charge from the bow. I don't know. I still think Unleash was a tiny bit better there.
Yeah.
But we have the knowledge of the hands. He doesn't. So, yeah.
So Shoop's starting to get dangerously low here. He's going to have to Siphon Soul
the
this
value
owl.
Siphon. So much value.
And now he's still going to have 2 creatures on board, so that's 5, 6, 7 damage. Quick shot.
Quick shot. That's a card. All right. Quick shot. Face. It's not lethal, is it? It's
No, not quite. Yeah, it's 1 off.
Do you attack with bow? Yes, you do. You are Smork.
Put him in a position where he can't attack into your face.
He has a 1 draw that will save him unless he runs Farseer, in which case he has 2. And that is not it.
All right, it looks like we're going to a game 5.
Yeah. Maz ties it up. I think.
Yeah.
Unless he runs Farseer. It might be a Farseer. It's possible.
No,
Okay.
I don't think so. And he attacks into the explosive trap. All right, so the last matchup is going to be Amaz's Druid versus Shoop's Mallylock.
And as I said before, I don't think the matchup's too bad for the Druid. Druid wins if they draw Wild Growth, have ridiculous cards. So Druid can obviously win any matchup. And Mallylock, it's kind of hard to get bored sometimes, especially against Druid. They just keep pumping out threats. The thing I've found that makes me win like the easiest against Druid is getting a decent Emperor turn and then just dropping Malygos, right? And then like throwing Soulfires out, because they're not going to be able to deal with the 4/12. Even if they silence it, cost them 4 mana to silence, and you still have a 4/12. But the game can go anyway. It might be decided on implosions or anything like that. We'll see.
Or a crazy start from the Druid early on. No Wild Growth, but he does have Keeper. Oh, so there is a Zombie Child in Shoop's deck. Yeah, I think this is the first or second Zombie Child that we've seen so far today from these Mally Warlock decks. It seems like some of them have been cutting it. But he does curve up pretty nicely. He's got Zombie Chow into tap, and then
Yeah, it's-
double Twilight Drake as well.
Double Drake is like pretty good, pretty super important, especially because Amaz doesn't even have a silence. Like, not a very good hand from Amaz.
Yeah, he had double Keeper, but he decided to mulligan both of them away in search of some big play. He kept
That's
Innervate.
interesting. Yeah, you keep Innervate, but Double Keeper. I guess he really wanted the Wild Growth. You can't really fault fault him too much for it.
Mm-hmm. Double BGH in Druid. That's not going to get much use at all in this matchup. So do you throw one out to just trade into the Zombie Chow? I don't even know.
I would.
Yeah.
It's not very much value, but
You're not going to do anything else with those BGs.
exactly. So now you can just toss out a Drake. You have board. This is looking very, very good.
Yeah. He even has Dragon to activate the Blackman Corruptors.
The issue here is like Amaz is probably just going to go with the boom, right?
Yeah.
And Shoop doesn't really have an efficient way to deal with it. I guess he could Corruptor and run in his Drake, but that doesn't seem that hot.
Double Mortal Coil. Hope you draw into BGH.
Looks like he is just going to clear it. These boom bots are going to be very, very deciding. Although Amaz might just choose to swipe.
If he swipes, he doesn't do anything else.
I think you go for the boom bots.
Yeah.
Yeah, just RNG it up.
It's pretty likely that you... actually, I don't know how likely it is. It's a 50-50 whether or not you hit the... Oh, that makes it slightly more awkward.
Yeah. Okay, Shredder. All right, I can dig this play. So I guess you can use second Blackman Corruptor and you can coil, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Corruptor first. See what comes out. Hopefully not a Doomsayer. That is pretty good. So I guess you can coil, yeah, and then just sit.
He's actually got a pretty good Emperor hand for when he decides to use it, because he's got Dark Bomb and Soulfire in the hand already.
Yeah.
So that's what you want. You want at least two of your combo pieces, either Malagos and a burn spell or a couple burn spells.
Amaz's hand is just like not that great. Like you can swipe, but then you don't develop anything. And are you gonna face tank 5 damage just to keep up a 1/1? It's like a pretty hard position from Amaz's perspective.
Mm-hmm. And if he does that, then he's just gonna open up a clean board for Emperor Thorsan and not have a way to deal with it except for Force of Nature. Which he doesn't know that, but he can assume that if he just uses swipe here to clear, I mean, Force of Nature is also a pretty clean way to do it. Like he can just Force of Nature and keep his 1/1 alive and not have to take damage.
That's true. And like I'm not sure if you value swipe as more than Force of Nature because swipe can clear off implosions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it looks like he does. It'll be interesting to see if he face tanks the 5. Looks like he doesn't want to. I can respect that. That makes sense. That's probably what I would have done.
Yeah.
So easy Emperor turn for Shoop here, I believe. Who's
Yeah, Ooze doesn't do anything.
Brain Slug.
Alright, well now Amos in a position where he has to either Ancient of Lore to heal and sort of give Shoop potentially double turns worth of Emperor Thorsan value, or use Force of Nature to clear.
You have to just draw here. There's no other. Oh my goodness. I guess not. I guess he sees it differently. Okay.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's a little rough. I agree. All right, 1 Force of Nature down. So you tap here, right?
Tap, Twilight Drake.
Twilight Drake and Ooze,
Ooze.
I guess. Or Imp Gang Boss is really solid. That was a very good draw. Because next turn you can just like play Defender and have a 5/10 and a 3/5 that spawns more. It's pretty solid. Ooh, Silence. Oh, he opts not to go for it. Okay. Yeah, Defender here is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably get away with tapping. I don't see the harm in it. Tap, Defender, play BGH and Ooze.
But Hellfire.
A little too much. Because you can already get value and deal with the slime easily through Defender. So I don't think you care too much about the shade right now.
Yeah.
And you already saw Force of Nature, so the odds he has combo aren't too high, but you don't even die to combo. I don't know. It's possible. Like, it's not the worst thing, but
If he Hellfired, he would have to throw the. He would Hellfire and then throw the Imp Gang boss in to the Sludge Belcher.
yeah. I like oh, Owl, interesting. Okay. Under those. Yeah. And I like just dropping the ooze here. Exactly. Oh, is he gonna go face? I think trading is a little better. Yeah. Okay, good. I was gonna say because you want to trade because you haven't seen a Grove yet. And Grove is just like very scary if you don't clear the board. Double Grove. I think the winning play for a Maz here is double silence.
And if he draws into Force of Nature, he can win.
Yep.
Anti-Keelbot would bring him next turn back up to 23. With Shade, he'd have 6 plus. He'd have 20. So what Anti-Keelbot would bring him out of lethal range, but
I don't think you can really. Yeah, I don't think you can really do anything else. So like, I guess you could silence the Drake and then like keeper the 2/3. That would be okay. But ultimately, the Warlock has board right now, and I don't think you're gonna get it back.
Yeah.
I think you just kind of have to choose your way out of this game.
Yeah, just double silence and hope you draw into combo in order to win.
I think that's right. I think he's gonna go for it. There's one silence. I might choose to just kill it off. Yeah, he did. Okay.
How much damage does he have?
So that's 2, 5, 5 plus 5, plus. So that's 10 plus 10. So not enough.
He can Drake also.
You would get a 50-50 with the Hellfire if you do that. So you would Drake Dark Bomb face and then Soulfire and then
It's lethal.
Or not
exactly
50-50.
23 damage.
Yeah, it's 23, but you have a chance of discarding your Hellfire.
Yeah,
It's not
50-50.
Yeah.
You can't Hellfire first because it gets rid of the spell power.
Exactly. So Dark Bomb into Soulfire. I don't know about queuing up these attacks first, because if you discard it, like you might want to trade, right?
Looks like you got.
But he has. I guess you have to believe, right?
Yeah.
That's the moral of the story here.
Alrighty. Well, Shoop finds a way, and from his hotel lobby, he's gonna move on to the second decider match. And unfortunately, Amaz has been eliminated from the tournament. Sucks to go out 0-2 like that, but Shoop played that pretty well, and in the matchup earlier as well. It was just not Amaz's day. Not Amaz's day.
It's okay. It was a good series regardless. I think the Face Hunter didn't perform too well from Amaz. I guess the Druid didn't either. A lot of people have been not bringing Druid recently, and for reasons like this.
Yeah, he might have been better off bringing Patient Warrior in a situation like that, but you can't really go back and nitpick the lineups like that.
Exactly, yeah.
In the end, Shoop played pretty well. He's going to move on to the cider match to face Mirari, and the winner of that match is going to move on to the playoff stage to join Hot Form, Kalento, and Wafster.
Wafster, yeah.
Yeah, so the winner of the next match will face Wafster tomorrow in the playoff stage. But once again, guys, make sure you head over to geico.onog.gg. Get all the information about the tournament, get your Geico quote, and enter in to win your official TSM PC. I know I'll be doing that after the show is over today because I want a TSM PC just like the rest of everybody. And it is a global giveaway, so wherever you are in the world, you can enter in that giveaway and have your chance to win a TSM PC. But we do have one more match to go today. It is going to be the decider match between Mirari and Shoop, so don't go anywhere, guys. The finale of Group B of the Feature Tournament #1 returns right after this.